We have company coming, so I figured I would make some yeast rolls because our dinner for tomorrow will be roast and potatoes and carrots, and I thought some good yeast rolls would go good with that. So I'm going to video it and show you how I make these. First thing is a Rapid Rise instant yeast, fast acting. Turn my warm water on. You want your water to get to about 110 degrees and a half a cup of water. That's about right there. I also get a cheesecloth or a towel and wet it with the hot water. I'm going to mix 4 tablespoons of sugar into your warm water. It doesn't have to dissolve all the way, but the idea is to get it to dissolve a little bit. But you don't want to let it sit here and stir it too much, or you're taking the heat from the water. Open your packet of dry yeast. Stir it in with your sugar and your water. It doesn't stir easy. It will kind of look clumpy and not completely mixed. That's fine. It doesn't have to be completely stirred. You take your warm cheesecloth or towel, place it over your yeast and sugar water container, and I'm just going to place this in the microwave. I'm not going to turn the microwave on. I'm just going to place it in there so it can heat up and activate that yeast. I'm going to leave it in the microwave for 10 minutes. So my yeast has been rising for about 10 minutes in the microwave, or activating. See how foamy? I'm going to hang on to this cheesecloth or towel because I'm going to need it again. So the next thing we're going to do is add a half a cup of room temperature whole milk to your yeast. Room temperature, not hot, not heated, not cold out of the refrigerator, room temperature. Add that to your yeast. We're going to add a teaspoon of salt. A 1/4 cup of cooking oil. I like olive oil. Alright, after you've added your 1/4 cup of cooking oil, we're going to stir that up together. And then we're going to add 2½ cups of all-purpose flour to our bowl. we're going to mix this yeast, oil, salty, sugary, milky mixture into our flour. I like using a fork. When you stir it up, you want to see it lifting away from the sides of the bowl. If it's sticking really a lot to the sides of the bowl, you don't have enough flour. You got too much milk. So you want to see it come away from the sides of the bowl and make the sides of the bowl clean like that. This dough will still be a little sticky. Flour your surface area. Now we're going to work this dough for about 10 minutes. You just push down with the heel of your hand, fold, turn, push, fold, turn, and you just keep doing that. You're going to do that about 10 minutes. I probably should have worn my apron to keep from getting white flour all over my black shirt, but it's too late. As you're working this dough, it does get harder and harder to work, but it also starts feeling kind of sticky. The flour starts soaking into there that you floured your area with, and it'll start feeling sticky and kind of sticking to the palm of your hand. That's what you want. And the way to know if your dough has been worked well enough is after you work it for a minute, kind of shape it into a ball and then press down with 2 fingers in the middle. If it pops right back out, your dough is worked good enough. If it stays sunken down in there, you probably need to work it a little more. So my dough is ready for the next step. Now, I like to grease my bowl a little bit that I use to mix in, just a little bit. I grease the bottom and the sides of the bowl. You don't have to do this. I like to. Works for me. Drop your dough into the bowl. Warm your cheesecloth or your towel back up. Cover your bowl with it, and you're going to place this into your oven with your light on. Don't turn your oven on any temperature. Just turn your oven light on and sit this in there and let it sit for an hour. Alright, I'm going to clean up my mess. And then I'll come back when that timer goes off. The timer went off. It's been an hour. So you can see the dough has risen. Now you just want to punch it down with your fist. I warmed this back up with warm water. You're going to put it back into the lidded oven, lighted oven, for 30 more minutes for a second rise. 30 more minutes. Alright, so the second rise for 30 minutes is complete. Take my dough out of the oven. I'm going to keep this again. You can see that it's doubled in size again. I'm going to grease my pan or oil my pan. Stop on top. Okay, I'm going to punch the dough down again. And I'm going to work it in the bowl for about 5 minutes. Punch it down, fold, punch, fold, punch, fold. This helps release the air and gases that are in the bread. Once you're done working your dough, pull it back out. Then we're going to separate this into 3 even pieces. As even as you can. Alright. And then we're going to cut each of those pieces in half. Now we're going to cut each of those pieces in half. Alright, now you should have 12 pieces. The next thing you do is take your rolls and fold them under. And just keep folding them under until it forms a nice ball shape. Like this. And then place it in your greased pan. You're going to do that with all of these. You can actually cut them in half more and make smaller rolls, but these will make big, fluffy, large size rolls. I'm on the last roll now. We're going to heat our cheesecloth or our towel back up again. After you've warmed your cheesecloth back up, place it back over your pan again, and you're going to place this back into your lighted oven for 45 more minutes for this third and final rise. Alright, my timer went off. I'm going to pull them out and preheat my oven. Preheat my oven to 375. I'm going to let these sit here, but I'm going to reheat. You see how much they've risen? I'm going to reheat this rag or cheesecloth. I'm just going to let these sit here while the oven preheats under this warm towel. My oven is preheated and ready. they look good. I'm about to put these in the oven for 15 to 17 minutes, just until your tops are golden brown. And then after that, I will glaze them with a honey and a butter and honey glaze over the top of them. 15 to 17 minutes at 375. While I'm waiting on these rolls, they got about 30 seconds left. I went ahead and mixed up some butter and some honey together to glaze the top, and I just whipped it together. 20 seconds. I did this timer for 15 minutes. Look at those. They smell so good. I know they just come out of the oven, but I'll go ahead and pull one apart and let you see what they look like. They're super light and fluffy, and they're super hot to the touch. So good. So good. Give it a try. Let me know down in the comments if you try this recipe. And if you like it, give us a thumbs up.